This is my audience. The debate over whether genetically modified foods should be supported or not has been continuing for 40 years. Frankenstein monsters, things crawling out of the lab. This is the most depressing thing I've ever dealt with. According to Robert Goldberg, a plant molecular biologist from the University of California, Los Angeles, is expressing his despair at the need to confront what he sees as bogus fears over the health risk of genetically modified crops. According to what he believes, the debate over genetically modified crops should have ended 40 years ago, but today we're still facing battles over the safety of genetically modified foods. Reading countless online debates and materials have made me understand that the health risks of genetically modified food is a problem. The safety of genetically modified food is a problem and it needs to be solved. In order to counter hunger, bring benefit to farmers, and make human beings more healthy, people really need to know that genetically modified food are safe and they need to be supported. Today, I will make sure that every one of you understand what genetically modified food is and the health and the safety of health risks of genetically modified food, and why are genetically modified food produced and why are they healthy, and also the potential benefits of genetically modified food to people. To start, I will define what genetically modified food is. According to World Health Organization, genetically modified organisms, which is also known as genetically modified or engineered products, are created through forcing a piece of DNA from a totally different species into the DNA of a plant or animal. Those who argue that genetically modified food are not safe to eat argue that genetically modified organisms bring food allergy, increased toxicity, decreased nutritional value, antibiotic resistance, according to Ying ome.edu on the potential harmful effects of GMOs. Food allergy affects approximately 5% of children and 2% of adults in the United States and is a significant public health threat. Most of the plants that humans consume produce toxins at levels low enough that they do not produce any adverse health effects. There is a concern that inserting a exotic gene into a plant could cause it to produce toxins at higher levels that could be dangerous to human beings. A genetically modified plant could theoretically have lower nutritional quality than its traditional counterpart by making nutrients unavailable or indigestible to human beings. Bacteria develop resistance to antibiotics by creating antibiotic resistance genes through natural mutation. Now I have talked about what genetically modified food is and the potential health risks proposed by those who are against the genetically modified foods. Next, I will illustrate why genetically modified organisms are produced and why they are healthy. Genetically modified food are developed and marketed because there is some benefits to either to the producer or the consumer of these foods. This is meant to translate into a product with lower price, greater benefit in terms of durability or nutritional values, or both. Initially, genetically modified seed developers wanted their products to be accepted by producers and have concentrated on innovations that bring benefits to farmers. Many argue that genetically modified organisms are not safe to eat, but scientific research has shown that genetically modified food are actually safe. A 2015 survey by the Pew Research Center shows that nearly 9 out of 10 scientists from the American Association for Advancement of Science says genetically modified organisms are generally safe to eat. Besides the U.S. Besides the U.S. Food Drug Administration (FDA) assesses all genetically modified foods to make sure they are safe before allowing them to be sold. So there is no way that genetically modified food will produce allergic reactions. According to World Health Organization, the WHO Department of Food Safety and Zoonosis also aimed at helping national authorities in the identification of foods that should be subject to risk assessments or to recommend appropriate approaches to safety assessment. This will make sure that the genetically modified food on the market are safe to eat. Some might also argue that these measures are not able to ensure that genetically modified foods are safe, but they are actually authorities who are meticulous on their job and their scientific procedures. Besides, genetically modified foods also bring benefits to people. They will save money for peasants on pesticides, and they will enable crops to be planted in adverse environments so that it could solve the hunger problem of some countries. And genetically modified foods are also nutritious in according to based on the technology used in the foods. Um, Following the steps to support genetically modified food can bring a lot of benefits to us and to future generations. According to Learn Genetics Utah, if you are a tomato farmer whose crops are threatened by pests, don't you want to use genetically modified food to save money for you from pesticides? And if you are a mother and having children with malnutrition, don't you want to use genetically modified foods to help you counter the problem of malnutrition? And if you're a leader and your country is facing a shortage of arable land, don't you want the crops you grow have more yield so that your country is not starving anymore? Now you see how anyone can benefit from genetically modified foods. Let's review why. Genetically modified organisms are organisms in DNA altered so that it makes it which do not occur naturally. Some might argue that genetically modified organisms are not safe. But in this speech, I have provided the counter argument of their proposition of their argument, and I've also covered why GMOs are going to produce benefits to people, especially farmers and those who live in those who live in developing countries. Um, for us to take action, there is a website called Debating European, which you can visit and vote for genetically modified foods. You can also write comments on the website to support genetically modified foods. There is an organization named the Genetically Literacy Project, which you can join to help to make the public know the facts about genetically modified foods. You can also just purchase genetically modified food in the supermarket whenever you see them. And if you follow these steps, I believe that genetically modified food are going to bring more benefits to people. That's all. Thank you.